Okay guys, I want to quickly address escapes from two very common locks. The first being the guillotine. What I want to preface this with is by saying that given a choice, I would never choose to offensively guillotine somebody in that manner. Generally, people will try to put their radial bone in the trachea. They'll often lean back to acquire power, or else base themselves more correctly to acquire power. It's just not the most ideal strike, because at best what you're going to do is crack the trachea, cause bleeding into the lungs, which is not an immediate kill. A lot of people don't tap on that pain when they're under the effect of drugs, so it's far better to either go for a structural control like we showed before with that chin strap or that bear trap, control the wholeness of their body, or if I was in a restraint tactics kind of domain, I'd go for a blood choke, which would be having a bicep on one side, a radial bone on the other, and squeezing off and clamping both arteries. So I'm not a fan of the radial bone in tracheal choke. That being said, because of MMA, it's extremely common. When we used to bounce, it was one of the most common things we had to break two guys up with, or people would latch on. So when somebody does address that, first thing they're doing is they're taking your structure bending. You can hear if I stay here, as Danny starts to ratchet that shoulder, it gets very strong. So the very first thing I want to do is I want to correct my structure on all three planes. So what that means is, first and foremost, I want to bring my hips under my head. Listen to my voice. As he cranks it, I'm being impinged. You can see the face getting red. I'm going to bring my hips underneath my crown. So that is controlling me, correcting me on one plane. Make sure never to resist with the neck, like this. Whether I sit underneath. If it's extremely strong, I can sometimes go to a three-point position to escape, go for attacks and move. So right away, that's going to save your trachea. Secondly, I want to move my hips to the opposite side, away from my head. And if he puts it on medium strong, and I move the wrong way, I see right away what that does to my spine. That's the wrong way. Correct way, I want to bring hips under my head at the same time as I go under. So now I'm correcting myself on width and height. And then finally, once I have that, here, now I can start to work at depth. Try on the side as well, right? So eyes will lead, hips will come under, I'll stagger to the far side, and then when I'm in that position, I'm going to work on depth. I'm going to look for groin shots, hitting, stripping that off. So I want that, I like to let him get it on quite deeply. I see where it is. And then I move to this position. If it's still being tenacious here and it's working, even if you pull him down, usually at that point his hand will sacrifice. If he maintains it, and goes all the way to the floor in this position. So what we're looking to do here is just maximize our weight, get back to our knees, and start to go to striking. So we try not to hit from a position of disadvantage, where he has me in that position, and I start to uppercut, because that clench is going to make him hit harder. Improve it on height, on width, and then start striking through depth. And work my structure.